Hey guys, I'm FatBuddyCat, and this is my custom vintage mini bike. Today, we're going to get the frame prepped for welding. We're going to start by taking everything we need outside. And placing it on a bench. For this task, I'm going to bust out Big Herc, grinding wheel, sanding disc, and a pair of gloves. Don't forget your safety glasses. Well, I'm going to get to work, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. One and a half hours later. Finally getting somewhere. Lots of angles, guys. Not easy. Alright, back inside. I'm going to rough this thing up. Give it a quick sandpaper. Now that I'm down to basically bare metal, I'm going to go around with a permanent marker. And I'm going to be marking repairs, stenciling out some gussets, and making sure we don't really miss anything. Here's what I have for repairs so far. I'm going to be filling in all of these holes and this divot here, as well as filling in these 4 mount holes. I'm going to cut these foot pegs off. We're going to relocate those. The back fender on this was rusted through and is missing a section. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to cut this out. And I can see the chain was hitting over here. So I'm going to cut this tab out here and support it elsewhere. Up on top of the seat pan, there's also various mounting holes of some sort. I'm going to get rid of those and try to stick with these 3 here. On the sides, these are where the shock mounts were. This metal isn't extremely thick, but it did serve its purpose. However, I am a heavier rider, so we're going to do something to beef that up a little bit. I grabbed a few pieces of metal just so I have an idea what I have to work with for sizes. I have some squares cut too, but I like to use my odds and ends first. I'm just going to be using some cardboard, scissors, a marker, and some tape to create some templates. And here is what I've come up with. Up front, this frame was cracked here and then repaired. In order to keep this from fracturing this way and separating this way and moving this way, and the same thing with this one, I'm going to cut a spline and then weld it in on 3 sides. Since I'm going to be cutting off my foot pegs, I'm going to need something else to mount my new ones on. So, I'm going to cut a little notch in a piece of 1-inch square tubing, and that will allow me to come up close to the frame in the front, and then I'll be able to weld underneath here, up here, and along the back side. When that moves forward, it'll bring it away from the slots for my motor mounts. On the motor that I'm using, the oil drain is actually only on the back, so I'll end up cutting a slot somewhere for that to drain through. This tape back here, this actually represents new steel. I'm going to cut out this fender bracket cross section and weld plate in here, and that will be my reinforcement for cutting out this section back here. A few holes are going to be needing addressed. This is going to be one of them. It's going to get drilled out slightly larger. So, depending how large the diameter is of this hole will determine whether I add anything back here in this department. If I do that, it'll most likely be a little piece like that. Alright, just a little triangle type thing, and then I'll fill it and weld that in there. Alright, the last one, guys, is really important. I'm going to need 2 of these because it's for both sides. It mirrors it, alright? And the idea here is adding something to cantilever my seat pan, alright? Because when my considerable bulk is further back on the seat, there's nothing to support this steel other than the shocks. They put this hole close to this seam and close to the frame here so that the weight transfers. Well, we're going to be changing the way the weight transfers onto the rear end. And the way I'm going to do that is move my mounting hole somewhere around here. I'm not exactly sure where it's going to be yet, but I know if I weld this in, I'll definitely get it somewhere. Looks like I have my work cut out for me. Literally. And after that, we have to build a swing arm. But that's okay, because as always, it's a work in progress. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.